Right now, there is a strange sound that millions of people are hearing, and no one around them can hear it. Not the TV, not traffic, not a fan in the room. It's coming from inside their own head, a high-pitched ringing, a constant hum, sometimes like electrical noise that never switches off. And if you're experiencing this, you already know it doesn't stop when you cover your ears. It follows you into silence. The most disturbing part is not the sound itself. It's the fear that comes with it. When the world goes quiet at night, that noise becomes louder, sharper, impossible to ignore. Your brain starts racing. Is something damaged? Is this permanent? Am I losing control? That panic is often worse than the sound. Sleep disappears, focus breaks, even strong people start to feel helpless. Now here's something that might shock you. Most people who seek help for this condition walk away with treatments that don't actually solve the problem. Not because doctors don't care, but because the real cause is often misunderstood. The focus goes to the ears, while the real issue may be somewhere completely different. This condition has a name, tinnitus, but calling it a disease of the ear is where many people go wrong, because in a large number of cases, the ears themselves are working just fine. The structures inside may be healthy. The problem is not always in what you hear, it's in how your brain is processing signals. Think of your body like a sound system. Your ears are just the microphone, your brain is the amplifier and speaker. If the incoming signal becomes weak or distorted, the brain tries to compensate by increasing sensitivity. It turns up the volume, and when that happens in a quiet environment, your brain starts picking up internal noise signals that are normally filtered out. This is what creates that constant ringing or humming. It's not your body failing, it's your body overcompensating. Your brain is trying to make sense of incomplete information, and once you understand that, everything starts to shift, because this means the condition is not random. And in many cases, it can be influenced and improved. One of the biggest frustrations people face is trying multiple treatments and seeing little to no improvement. Ear drops, medications, supplements, sometimes they help briefly, sometimes not at all. This creates confusion and doubt. Why isn't anything working? The answer lies in understanding where the problem actually begins. In many situations, the issue is not in the ear canal, the eardrum, or even the middle ear structures. Instead, it originates from how the brain interprets sound signals. When the brain receives weaker input due to stress, circulation issues, or nerve sensitivity, it reacts by amplifying everything. It's like increasing the volume on a weak radio signal until static becomes louder than the music. This phenomenon is known as a phantom sound. Your brain is not imagining things randomly, it is filling in gaps. Just like some people feel sensation in a limb that is no longer there, your auditory system can generate sound even without an external source. It's a compensation mechanism, not a malfunction. But here's where it gets interesting. The reason the signal becomes weak in the first place is often not directly related to hearing. It could be linked to circulation problems, muscle tension, poor posture, or even long-term stress. These factors affect how signals travel to the brain. For example, if blood flow to certain areas is reduced, the brain receives less information. In response, it increases sensitivity. This increased sensitivity doesn't just enhance useful signals, it also amplifies internal noise. That's why the sound becomes more noticeable in silence, especially at night, so when treatments focus only on the ear, they may miss the bigger picture. To truly address the issue, you need to understand the system as a whole, because once you identify what's disrupting the signal, you can begin to correct it instead of just masking the symptoms. Not all tinnitus is the same, and this is where many people get confused. The sound you hear can give important clues about what's happening inside your body. Recognizing these patterns can help you understand the root cause and guide you toward the right approach. Some people notice a rhythmic sound that matches their heartbeat. It feels like a pulsing or whooshing sensation. This type is often linked to blood flow and circulation. When blood moves through narrowed pathways or under pressure, it can create turbulence and your brain picks up that signal. Others experience clicking or crackling sounds, especially when swallowing or moving their jaw. This is usually related to muscle activity. Small muscles around the ear can't twitch or contract under stress, creating mechanical sounds that are perceived as internal noise. Then there's the most common type, a constant high-pitched ringing or buzzing. This type doesn't pulse or change much. It's steady, sometimes louder, sometimes softer, but always present. This is often connected to nerve sensitivity and how the brain processes sound signals. There is also a type that changes depending on your emotional state. When you're stressed, it gets louder. When you're relaxed or distracted, it fades into the background. This suggests involvement of the brain's emotional centers, which influence how signals are interpreted. Understanding these differences is important because each type responds differently to treatment. What works for one person may not work for another. That's why identifying your pattern is the first step toward finding relief. Now let's talk about something most people never consider: the connection between tinnitus and your body's mechanics. Your neck, jaw, and posture can all influence what you hear. This might sound surprising, but once you understand the anatomy, it starts to make sense. The neck plays a critical role because major blood vessels supplying the brain pass through it. If these vessels are compressed due to muscle tension or poor posture, blood flow can become restricted. This affects how signals reach the brain and can trigger compensatory responses like increased sensitivity. The jaw is another key player. The joint that allows you to chew sits extremely close to the structures of the ear. When this joint becomes tense or misaligned, it can affect nearby nerves and create signals that the brain interprets as sound. This is why some people notice changes in ringing when they move their jaw. Modern lifestyle habits make this worse. Long hours on phones or computers push the head forward, placing strain on the neck. Stress leads to unconscious jaw clenching. Over time, these patterns become chronic, creating ongoing pressure in areas that directly affect auditory processing. There are also internal factors: poor diet, lack of essential nutrients, and unstable blood sugar levels can increase nerve sensitivity. When the nervous system becomes overactive, it amplifies signals that all of this shows one thing clearly: the source of tinnitus is often not a single issue. It's a combination of factors working together. And once you begin addressing these factors, the intensity of the sound can begin to change. At this point, you might be wondering, how do I know what's actually causing my tinnitus? Is it circulation, muscle tension, or something deeper? The good news is, your body gives you clues. You just need to know how to read them. And one of the most powerful indicators is how your tinnitus reacts to movement. There's a simple principle you need to understand. If the sound changes when you move your body, your neck, your jaw, or even your shoulders, that's a very positive sign. It means the condition is influenced by physical structures like muscles and joints. This type is often more manageable because it responds to mechanical correction. Start with your neck. Sit straight and slowly turn your head to one side. Hold it there and notice the sound. Then return to center and repeat on the other side. If the ringing increases, decreases, or changes tone, your neck is playing a role. This suggests that tension or restricted blood flow is affecting how signals reach your brain. Now test your jaw. Open your mouth wide, then close it and gently clench your teeth. Move your lower jaw forward slightly. Again, pay attention to the sound. If it shifts in any way, it indicates involvement of the jaw joint. This area sits extremely close to the ear and can influence nerve signals. Finally, check your shoulder and upper back area. Press into a tight spot near your neck or shoulder. Hold the pressure and observe. If the sound pulses or intensifies, it's a sign that muscle tension is sending signals to your brain that are being interpreted as sound. These simple tests can reveal more than you might expect. They help you move from guessing to understanding. And once you identify the source, you can begin targeting the real cause instead of chasing temporary relief. Even if you identify the physical source, there are hidden factors that make tinnitus worse over time. These are everyday habits that seem harmless but quietly increase the intensity of the problem, and unless you address them, progress will always feel limited. One major factor is chronic neck tension. In today's world, most people spend hours looking down at screens. This posture strains small muscles at the base of the skull. Over time, these muscles become tight and restrict blood flow to the brain. Reduced circulation leads to increased sensitivity in the auditory system. Another overlooked issue is blood sugar imbalance. When your diet is high in refined carbohydrates and sugar, it affects your blood vessels and nerves. The auditory nerve is extremely sensitive to these changes. Fluctuating glucose levels can make signals unstable, increasing the likelihood of phantom sounds. Stress is another powerful trigger. When your body is in a constant state of tension, your nervous system remains overactive. This reduces your brain's ability to filter unnecessary signals. As a result, sounds that would normally be ignored become amplified and noticeable. Sleep also plays a critical role. Poor sleep reduces your brain's ability to recover and regulate itself. When recovery is incomplete, sensitivity increases. This is why tinnitus often feels worse at night or after a restless sleep. All these factors combine to create a perfect environment for tinnitus to persist. Addressing them is not optional, it's essential if you want long-term improvement. What you do in the first hour after waking up can either calm your system or make tinnitus worse. And surprisingly, many common morning habits push your body in the wrong direction without you realizing it. One of the biggest mistakes is drinking coffee on an empty stomach. While caffeine can boost energy, it also constricts blood vessels. If your circulation is already compromised, this can reduce blood flow to sensitive areas like the auditory nerve. The result is often an increase in ringing shortly afterward. Another issue is dehydration. After several hours of sleep, your body naturally needs fluids. If you skip water and go straight to stimulants like coffee, your blood becomes more concentrated. This makes circulation less efficient, especially in tiny vessels that supply the inner ear. Your sleeping position also matters. Using a pillow that bends your neck forward can restrict blood flow for hours. This creates mild oxygen deprivation in certain areas of the brain. When you wake up, your body reacts and the ringing becomes more noticeable. Even small habits like immediately checking your phone can contribute. The forward head posture and mental stimulation increase tension in the neck and nervous system. This sets the tone for the rest of the day. Fixing these habits doesn't require drastic changes. Simple adjustments, hydration, posture, and timing can significantly reduce the intensity of tinnitus over time. Before trying advanced solutions, the first step is removing what's making the problem worse. Think of it like fixing a leak. You don't just add more water, you stop the damage first. This approach creates the foundation for real improvement. Start with your ears themselves. Many people use cotton swabs daily, believing they are cleaning their ears. In reality, this often pushes wax deeper and irritates sensitive areas. The ear is designed to clean itself. Interfering with this process can create unnecessary pressure and irritation. Next, consider your use of earbuds. In-ear devices create a sealed environment that increases pressure on the eardrum. This can overstimulate sensitive structures and worsen tinnitus. Switching to over-ear headphones reduces this effect significantly. Posture correction is another key step. Keeping your head aligned with your spine reduces strain on the neck and improves circulation. Even small adjustments throughout the day can make a noticeable difference over time. Reducing excessive noise exposure is also important. While complete silence isn't necessary, constant loud environments can increase sensitivity. Giving your ears periods of rest allows your system to stabilize. These corrections may seem simple, but they remove ongoing stress from your system. Without them, even the best treatments will struggle to work effectively. Once you remove harmful factors, the next step is supporting your body from within. Your nervous system depends on proper nutrition to function and repair itself. Without the right nutrients, recovery becomes slow and incomplete. Water is the most basic but essential element. Proper hydration ensures smooth blood flow and helps deliver oxygen and nutrients to sensitive areas. Even mild dehydration can affect how your auditory system functions. Magnesium plays a key role in relaxing muscles and calming the nervous system. Many people are deficient in it, which contributes to tension and overactivity. Restoring magnesium levels can help reduce both physical and neurological stress. B vitamins are crucial for nerve health. They support the repair and maintenance of nerve fibers, helping signals travel more efficiently. When nerves function properly, the brain receives clearer input and has less need to compensate. Healthy fats are equally important. They support cell structure and help maintain flexibility in nerve pathways. A balanced intake of fats improves overall brain function and stability. Nutrition alone won't fix everything instantly, but it provides the foundation your body needs to recover. Without it, progress will always be limited. At this stage, you've identified potential causes, removed harmful habits, and started supporting your body. But there's still one piece missing: the reset, because even after improvements, your muscles and nervous system may still hold on to old patterns. Your body develops habits over time. Muscles learn to stay tense. The nervous system learns to stay alert. These patterns don't disappear overnight. They need to be actively retrained. This is where targeted exercises come in. Not intense workouts, but precise movements designed to release tension and restore balance. These exercises directly influence the areas connected to tinnitus. Consistency is key. A single session may provide temporary relief, but repeated practice creates lasting change. Over time, your body learns a new normal one with less tension and more stability. The goal is not to eliminate the sound instantly. It's to reduce its intensity, frequency, and impact on your life as your system stabilizes. The sound becomes less dominant and easier to ignore. In the next part, we'll go deeper into the exact techniques that help reset your system and bring your body back toward balance. Now we come to the most important part of this entire process, the reset, because everything you've learned so far prepares your body, but this is what actually starts changing the signal, and the best part. It takes only a few minutes, but the impact can be surprisingly powerful when done correctly. Your body holds tension patterns that build up over months and years. These patterns don't disappear just by thinking about them. They need to be physically released. The muscles around your neck, jaw, and head must be guided back into a relaxed state so that normal blood flow and nerve signaling can return. The key idea here is simple. If pressure on nerves and blood vessels is reduced, the brain receives clearer signals. When signals become clear, the brain no longer needs to amplify them. And when amplification stops, the internal noise begins to fade. This reset is not about force. It's about precision. Small, targeted movements can have a bigger impact than aggressive stretching or random exercises. That's why following the method correctly is more important than doing it intensely. Think of it like adjusting a sensitive system. A slight correction can restore balance, while too much pressure can make things worse. So the goal is controlled, mindful movement, not pushing beyond comfort. In the next steps, we'll go through a simple sequence you can follow anywhere. It's designed to release tension, improve circulation, and calm your nervous system all at the same time. The first area we focus on is the neck because this is where many issues begin. The muscles here are responsible for supporting your head, but they also sit around important blood vessels and nerves. When they become tight, they restrict flow and create pressure that affects your entire system. Start by sitting upright with your shoulders relaxed. Slowly turn your head to one side so that you can feel a stretch along the opposite side of your neck. Hold this position gently, no force, just awareness. Then bring your head back to center and repeat on the other side. Next, use your fingers to gently massage the side of your neck. You're not pressing hard, you're simply encouraging the muscle to soften. Move slowly from just below your ear down toward your collarbone. This helps release built-up tension and improve circulation. As you do this, you may feel warmth spreading through the area. That's a positive sign. It means blood flow is improving and the muscles are beginning to relax. This alone can reduce pressure on nearby structures connected to hearing. Repeat this process on both sides for about a minute. Keep your breathing slow and steady. Avoid holding your breath, as that can increase tension instead of reducing it. This step alone can make a noticeable difference, especially if your tinnitus is influenced by posture or muscle tightness. The next focus is the jaw, an area that many people overlook. The joint near your ear is closely connected to structures involved in hearing. When this joint becomes tight or misaligned, it can send confusing signals to the brain. Begin by slowly opening your mouth as wide as comfortable. Hold for a few seconds, then gently close it. Repeat this a few times to release stiffness. Then lightly clench your teeth, not forcefully, just enough to feel the muscles engage and relax again. Now locate a small area just in front of your ear. When you open your mouth, you'll feel a slight hollow forming there. This is a key point where tension often builds. Using your fingertips, apply gentle circular pressure to this spot. Move in slow circles, focusing on relaxation rather than force. You may feel a deep sensation or slide take that's normal. It indicates that you're reaching deeper muscle layers that hold tension. Continue this movement for about 30-40 seconds on each side. Keep your jaw relaxed and your breathing steady. This helps release pressure around the joint and improves signal clarity to the brain. Over time, this simple technique can reduce the influence of jaw tension on tinnitus and improve overall comfort. Now we move to a technique that directly influences how your brain processes sound. This method uses gentle vibration to reset the auditory system and reduce internal noise. It may feel unusual at first, but many people find it surprisingly effective. Place your palms over your ears so they are fully covered. Your fingers should rest lightly behind your head. Make sure your hands create a soft seal, but don't press too hard. The goal is to create a controlled environment for vibration. Now gently tap the back of your head using your fingers. The tapping should be rhythmic and soft, not forceful. Inside your head, this creates a subtle vibration that travels through the bones and reaches the inner ear. This vibration stimulates the auditory system and helps reset how signals are processed. Think of it as shaking. Loose stagnant patterns so the system can recalibrate. It's similar to how movement can restore circulation in other parts of the body. Perform this for about 20-30 taps. Keep your eyes closed and your breathing slow. When you stop, notice the difference. Many people experience a brief sense of quiet or reduced intensity. While the effect may be temporary at first, consistent practice helps train the system to maintain this calmer state. There is one final element that ties everything together, and without it, the results are incomplete. That element is your breathing. It directly controls your nervous system and determines whether your body stays in tension or moves into relaxation. Most people unknowingly hold their breath when focusing on exercises. This increases pressure inside the body and signals stress to the brain. When that happens, the system remains in a heightened state and tinnitus stays active. Instead, focus on slow, controlled breathing. Inhale gently through your nose, then exhale slowly through your mouth. Make your exhale longer than your inhale. This sends a signal to your nervous system that it's safe to relax. As you combine breathing with the techniques you've learned, the effect becomes much stronger. Muscles release more easily, circulation improves, and the brain reduces its level of alertness. This creates the conditions needed for the sound to fade. Consistency is what brings results. Doing this once may help temporarily, but repeating it daily trains your body to stay in a calmer state. Over time, the intensity of tinnitus can decrease significantly. Remember, the goal is not to fight the sound, it's to remove the reasons your brain is creating it. And when you do that consistently, your body naturally moves toward balance and quiet.